Back to another reliable Randy. We're gonna do the frame assembly, disassemble. So same thing, make sure everything's clear. You press the trigger, slide lock the spring, go forward, okay? We'll put this to the side because this is all clean, ready to go. We have 3 pins. The locking block pin, the trigger pin, and the trigger housing pin. Okay. I usually go one way only. I go from left to right. I don't use hammers or anything like that. We're gonna take out these pins. Okay. Trigger pin. Sometimes you gotta mess around with this to get the trigger pin out with the side stop lever. Move this around. There you go. Comes right out. Yes, without it. Then your trigger housing pin. The easiest one, I guess. I think. They're all different, so you don't have to worry about mixing and matching them. So you take the locking block out. Just carefully, don't mar anything. I use this. Just slow, take your time, slowly take it out. Don't rush. Remember, we're dealing with plastics here against metal. Now the trigger, the whole trigger assembly should be able to pop out. Trigger assembly, trigger bar, connector, the housing, extractor, and that's your frame. You could even go as far as taking out the mag release. I'm not going to because I don't feel like I need to. I'll just brush on it a little bit down there. I don't really take out the slide lock spring unless I want to change it, but I don't modify my EDC. That's pretty much it. Teardown. Take this trigger assembly apart too. It only comes apart. Kind of do a so it's kind of like this. You kind of do a pivot here, and it pops right out. Then you could take this off with the spring. The spring's a S spring, S form. That's the whole. Sucker's dirty. Trigger bar assembly, or trigger bar and trigger. Trigger housing, connectors right here. That's the connector, stock, everything's stock in here. Where it's kind of rubbing off right here. Lubricated. I like to lube the inside of the connector because that's where the trigger bar rides. I'm just recommend my Glock, but all right. For reassembly. So, gotta put this trigger back together, the housing, actually, when we get the connector, it slides back in there, the trigger housing, nice and easy. It's supposed to be a little bit of a gap there, and you just turn it in, so the trigger bar gets into that slot. And it's gonna sit something like that. Okay. All right, trigger assembly first. Get it in there nice and smooth. Lock and block in. Trigger housing pin in to lock that back part in. Locking block pin goes in next. You hear a click. It clicks in there. Oh, it looks good. Slide stop lever goes in next. Kind of slides into these little, you can see everything goes in there. Kind of mess with it a little bit so you can see the holes line up. It's moving around in there, right? So you gotta see where that goes. Move up and down. Oh look, it just goes in really nicely, nice and easy. And you're supposed to have an audible click on this one. That. And you're good to go. I put a little thing, little lube on these two. This. Oops, that's too much. I'll wipe it off. Reassemble your gun. Watch out for the extractor. And the plate in the back. Glock weapon is ready to go. Smooth, baby. There you go. Okay, after cleaning, I want to get ready for my carry. So, lock the slide to the rear. This mag has 10 defense rounds in it. I use the Second Amendment 9mm plus P 124 grain hollow point. So the way I load is get that sucker seated in there, put one in the chamber, release the mag, always have your finger off the trigger, and add the 10th. So now you're 10 plus 1. And they're greasy. Now you're 10 plus 1. Ready to rock and roll. Put it in my Tier 1 conceal holster. Forgot to put my light back on, so this is pretty simple. Alright, keep your fingers off the trigger until you're ready to go. Boom. A little forward more. Boom. Alright. Good to go. Tier 1 conceal. Very nice stuff.